Hello, aspiring call center agent. This is Nayumi speaking. For today's topic, as you can see, we'll talk about telco account in call center companies. And of course, I'll also discuss what is telco, what is telco company or telco account in BPO. And of course, I'll give you what are the things that you have to expect in this kind of account. What are the common call drivers or the common calls or issues that you will be receiving in this account, and my personal tips to survive this account as well. So I myself is working for a telecommunications account at present, and I feel like there is a way for me to give you an overview or an idea what this is all about. Okay, so yes, let's begin. Alright, so first is yes, we have to define what is telco. Most of my viewers are newbie, and if you're a newbie, comment down below. Say yes. Alright, so I myself don't have an idea what telco means. So telco pala is an acronym for telephone company. So telco, telephone company, diba? So yes, so this is a telecommunications or communication service provider company that transports information electronically through telephony and data communication services in the networking industry. And in other words, sila yung mga internet provider, cable provider, cellphone provider, home security provider, and sila din yung mga, yun nga, telephone provider. So here in the Philippines, yung mga sikat na telco companies are like Smart, Globe Telecom, PLDT, Sky Broadband, Sky Cable, at Converge, at sobrang dami pa. Alright, so yun sila. Kung ano-ano yung mga ginagawa nila, exactly the same as this, telecommunication companies in the US. So yes, we'll talk about biggest telco companies in the US. So why do I have to include this in this presentation? The reason for that is because one of these companies you might be working with. Okay, so here are the top 10 for me telco companies in the US. So that's AT&T Incorporated, Verizon Communications Incorporated, Comcast Corporation, Dish Network, T-Mobile US, US Cellular, Sprint Corporation, Charter Communications, Altice USA, and Liberty Broadband Corporation. So I work to one of that company, but I won't say that because bawal. Okay, so yes. Next is we have to define what is telco in BPO company. So what are we going to do in this account? So basically, telecom or telecommunication business processing outsourcing, tayo yan, or the company that we are working with. So Concentrix, BXI, Alorica, Cytel, TP or Teleperformance, sila yung mga telecommunication business processing companies, 'di ba? So they help a telecommunications company such as AT&T, Verizon, and such to get specialized services outside of what they normally do, such as acquiring new customers. That's why we do have separate departments or different departments in this account. So we have billing, we have sales, we have technical, we have retention, we have collections, and other departments, right? So, kasi yung mga ganitong companies, they focus more on ways and how they can create product and services. So, they don't really focus on acquiring new customers. So, what they do is they outsource. Okay, so that's what our job is. And then, let's jump right into the topic, which is what to expect in this account. I hope you're still with me. Because not all of you can stay this long. Number one is expect to receive normal to huge volume of calls per day. So I created a video about retail account, and based on my personal experience, retail accounts has way more calls every single day as compared to telco accounts. So that's just based on my experience. So when I worked in a telco company or a telco account. Like I've got an average of like 20 calls to 35 calls na siguro. Pero kung you easily resolve the customer's concern, that would be 25 to 35 calls per day. But again, that's still less than the calls that you'll be getting if you will be on a retail account. Because in retail account, the calls would be an average of 40 to 70 calls a day. That's true. Okay, number two, expectation is this. Expect to use multiple tools, for example, two computers and more tools inside your computer. So yes, in retail account again, we only use one tool in there, just one computer. But in telco accounts, I myself has two computers with me, and of course, in that computer there are a whole lot of tools that you have to use in order to help your customer. And yes, this is really a little challenging at first, but you can manage it. Number three is expect a fixed schedule at work and a fixed day off too. So unlike retail account wherein yung service nila is 24/7, most of the telco companies, they do have fixed hours only. For example, in the company I'm working, the hours is that 7 a.m. to 9 o'clock in the evening. So they don't have service, or they don't provide customer service 9 o'clock in the evening until 7 o'clock in the morning the following day, which is good because you have fixed schedule. So we are always night shift, because if it's morning in the US, of course it's at night here in the Philippines because of the 12-hour difference. But for me, it's good. It's an advantage for me because you get to receive midnight bonus and night differential as well. And of course, I myself is most of the time awake at night, and I can do more productive things at night rather than in the morning. So that's just me. And then it also comes with fixed day off too. So unlike retail account, when I was in retail account before, it's not because I wanted to like compare and contrast this, but this is like the two accounts I've experienced. So that's where I can tell you. I don't know what it looks like working in a healthcare account. So I most of the time compare retail and then telco. Okay, alright. So in retail account kasi I used to work in like 2 day off pa rin naman siya. 2 days off pa rin naman siya. However, um, it's like split off. So that's Monday or Wednesday, Monday or Tuesday. Mihira lang yung Monday, Tuesday. But here in telco account, it's actually fixed schedule. So for example, your day off is Saturday and Sunday. So that's it forever. If it's Monday, Tuesday, that's it forever. Okay, it doesn't change. It's yeah. And then your schedule is really really good. Okay, and yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. Next is, this will be a long video, so hopefully you get to stay with me. Expect this account to be a little challenging, but when you get used to it, it becomes easy. So yes, I really struggled when I first taken my calls, not because of call handling, because I already have an experience, but because of the tools that I am using. Like you really have to navigate the tools, and of course there are a whole lot of buttons you have to click and click you have to use. And yeah, at first it's really challenging, especially with the rate codes, but once you get used to it, it becomes easy really. So it takes time, and it takes experience and patience also. And number five is expect few irate callers, but help them resolve their problems so they become happy campers. So yes, it's true that I believe, when I work in a retail account before, there are a whole lot of irate customers than in telco accounts. So most of them are like nice people. I don't know, but I feel like they're so nice to me. And when they are irate and you get to help them, then they become happy and they'd appreciate you. Okay, so yes, tapos na tayo dun. Let's move on to what are the common call drivers in this account. So what are the things that you have to expect when you take in calls? So I'll go with billing concerns. So if you're assigned in billing department for a telco account, so these are the issues that you will be facing every single day. So one is billing explanation. When you say billing explanation, you have to check your ledgers. It's like you're an accountant somehow. So you have to know the terminologies about bill, and you have to be able to know how to read the bill, of course, and how to lower down their bill. Most of us are like struggling. Even Americans are struggling because of this pandemic, and most of the time you would receive customers asking them to lower down the bill, especially if they have promotions that are about to expire, because they have bundle packages like the cable, internet, and phone. They bundle it, so they have triple play package, or they bundle cable and internet, so that's a double play package. And of course, if you bundle your package, then tendency is you will be getting discounts with that, and that discounts of course expires after a year or 2 years. Now when that expires, it like the pricing will go back to its normal rate, which is $25 more expensive than its usual rate. So that's when customers will call us to lower down the bill, and you have to look for a package that's cheaper. But if there's none, then you have to do everything you can. And of course, it comes with service upgrades, downgrades, and side grades. So this is where we do sales, because, for example, if they only have internet only, so you would offer to bundle it with cable and telephone, or you would offer a home security service or a mobile service with them. If they're triple play package, maybe you can offer them cell phone service or home security service. So this is when you have to do upgrades. Downgrades and side grades is when you say downgrade, for example, they're in triple play, they would like to cancel their telephone, so they become double play. Or if they're triple play, they'd cancel their cable and telephone, so they just get internet only. All right, so that's what you call downgrade. When you say side grade naman, it means keeping the services, like the triple play package, you keep it, but then you get, instead of 125 channels, you get 30 channels instead. So that's side grade. And of course, for example, the internet speed that they have is like 1200 megabytes per second, which is the fastest I think in US. Then they'd like to downgrade or side grade it to like just 800. So that's possible. Right? So you will also receive calls about accidental on-demand or pay-per-view purchase. So this is for cable. This is mainly for cable. There are a whole lot of calls that we receive about this, and most of the time we get to help them for sure. All right, other topics are like processing payment, like they would like you to process their payment, which is the easiest, by the way. And then refund request. This is quite hard because sometimes we have certain credit limit every single day for every customer. So if they're asking for a $250 credit, of course you can't just give that. You have to follow the process. And then new equipment request. For example, their cable box is old, their modems is old, then you have to replace it with new ones. And then credit requests, for example, there is an outage, they don't have service for a week or 2 weeks, then they're requesting for credit, then you have to process it. Then payment arrangement, for example, their bill is already due, but they can't process the payment just yet, so they will call us to process promise to pay. Okay, so that's for billing concerns. And yeah, I actually created a video about billing concern, like sample mock call. But if you want me to create one for you, I'll do it again. I like for technical concerns, it's more on troubleshooting, like problem with cable, internet, telephone, home security, and mobile services. You have this special request order for technician. You've got technician installation. You're the one who will create a technician appointment. And then activation of an equipment. Say for example, they've got a new modem, then they need an assistance to activate it, and you have to do it. Okay, and then for sales related concerns, because that's what we do typically. So handles new and returning customers. So handle new customers, like they never had Comcast, they never had services before, and then they wanted to have services with us. Returning customers means that they've been with us before, but then they disconnected their services to go to other service providers, and then they come back. All right, and then handles selling of services to customer. So yes, you have to sell the services we offer, and then he also handles transfer of services. So if the customer will be moving from one area to another with the same services that they have, then you are the ones who handle this. All right, so that's it, and then we'll jump right into my tips to survive in this account. So these are like personal tips, and first one is struggle is real at first, but don't quit. Because most of us, like at first, especially newbies, they think of like simply quitting because it's kind of difficult. Really, it's challenging. But once you overcome it, once you gain experience, give yourself at least 3 months to recover, because it takes, I think, 3 months in order for you to memorize the tool and the processes. I myself still struggling to these days though. Alright, number two is if you're unsure of the process, use your knowledge-based tool or your lead, because they are strict with the process. So this is just based off of my experience. Of course, all companies are strict in terms of their policies, but in this company I'm working with, I feel like you have to be 100% accurate all the time. Like you have to be perfect in terms of processes. Avoid misleading or untrue, like misinformation, because you might lose your job if you're doing that. That's why this is a tip. Alright, number three is when you're feeling unmotivated to go to work, remember the word discipline. I don't know if some other companies offer voluntary time off, but voluntary time off is basically them giving you a time to like get out of your work, like not taking calls anymore for a specific period of time. And then, like for example, your shift is 12 midnight to 9 a.m. and then there is a VTO that we call. So you, instead of going to work at 12 midnight, you will just log in at 4:30 a.m. Or for example, you will just log out from 7 o'clock in the morning, even if your shift is until 9 o'clock. So make sure that you discipline yourself and avoid doing that, especially if it doesn't cover your credit. Like you are required not to work, but you're not paid. So make sure to finish your work and discipline yourself. And number four is bring extra patience every single day. We need that in customer service, so I won't elaborate this. And the number five is, which is the last step, help them because you care for them, not because you're being paid to do so. Because we are human beings, and the person we are talking on the other side of the phone are human beings too, and they really are struggling. They need help, and so what you need to do is to really help them with your heart and with your soul, not because you're being paid for it. And that's when you will start loving your job. That's when you won't feel burnt out or tired. Alright, so that's it guys. I hope you've learned something out of this video. And if you do, give this video a like and give my channel page a like as well. You can send me a direct message there, by the way, if you want me to refer you to the same company I'm working with, that's possible. And just send me a private message. I can refer you to the same company I'm working with. And yep, make sure to subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell button, and yep, I'll see you again next time. Bye!